Hello from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona. We have had so many technical difficulties this week. It is definitely Wacky Wednesday. I am Laura. I am Yarn Closet AZ on Instagram and the Yarn Closet blog over on Patreon. My mom is Mawgee, M-A-W-G-E-E, Kitty, on Ravelry. She's getting a little bit more active. We do it kind of together. We're trying to get some patterns downloaded over there. You can get free crochet knitting, loom knitting, and what to do with a sock tube over on the Patreon blog. You can also get them for $1 or $2, or they just don't work over on Ravelry. Sorry, it's just a hard platform. The reason that I went to Patreon is because you can follow people there for free. It's a very good, easy blog platform. You can do a lot of interactive things, downloads, live chats. And it's not social media. I was really hoping that we could grow the community a little bit more, have more interaction there, and learn more about each other. Because there is a portion of our viewership that's housebound, like me and my mom. My mom, who gets to move into a 55 plus this weekend and have a lady clean her apartment every 2 weeks and have meals, and they have multiple restaurants. And they have activities, and they've got a weight room, and they've got physical therapists, and they've got all this stuff and activities and people and drivers. If I didn't have those children, I'd be moving in. But I do have the children, and I love them to death. You might have noticed we're in a different spot. My daughter, who I love to death, had a suggestion, and we rearranged what was our front room, our living room. There's still a couch and a TV, but there's a table, just like our dining room table, but smaller, for her to do her drawing. We play games at it. My son sits and draws more with her. And now I have my yarn stuff here. I might even buy some little hooks to hang some yarn right on the wall. I can't decide. And then we have that little space back there that we're calling the snug, as if we're English. And it's very cozy at night when we all just want to be watching our stuff, have the little fake fireplace on, and enjoy each other's company. So Kitty will be back next month. The move is the reason she's not here now. But here's the really exciting part. We were contacted by Maritime Family Fibers in Maine. And because I was looking at their yarn, and they sent us some free stuff. I'd heard about them over at the Fat Squirrel. So they sent us some stuff, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And you guys are going to have to answer a question between now and next week, and then I will randomly draw someone. So you have to be done by midnight on Tuesday, and I will set up the random generator to draw before the Wednesday podcast, because we watch Wednesday. But I was working with this piece fleece that I'd gotten on sale last year, because I'm trying to figure out the right density. Can you kind of see my hand through that? This is actually a pretty open open weave. It's not real dense. I live in Tucson. I need warm, but I don't need that warm. But I don't think I have the patience to actually finish a fingering weight sweater. So I was trying to find what to do, and I got this on $9 a skein. So I thought, well, it's only going to take 3 or 4. Good to go there. And turns out they have Tuffy, which is a worsted weight. This is Maritime Family Fibers. This is a worsted weight, 2-ply, 80% pure wool, 20% nylon, 113 grams for 215 yards. It's Canadian wool. This feels an awful lot like the Peace Fleece. An awful lot. I would even hazard to say it might be a smidge softer. So these are the 2 skeins you would win. We have the barber poled one is called Granite. And the blue one is called Blue Mix. So these would make up for some great slippers. They are a little bit scratchy, but they're more hard wearing. So I don't know what you'd want to do. I also got Blue Heather and Red Heather and Brown Heather in what they call Sport. But I'm telling you, it's fingering. Because it is 430 yards in 113 grams, which is 4 ounces. And this is more rustic. It's more rustic than the other one. But I did wash it up and it softened significantly. So that's my little swatch. I mean, it softened significantly. I was quite surprised. And then this is my Peace Fleece. This is super soft. This is definitely a washed and blocked. I steamed this one. So you will see their name down in the information below. Check them out. $7 a skein. $7 a skein. So you're going to get those 2. You're going to get the standard stitch markers. My husband made a small cup like this one that I put stitch markers in and needles. Isn't that cool? He always freaks out about these little dents and divots, but I think that's what makes it unique. And it's fun. It really is fun to just have a few stitch markers and your little tiny scissors and your needles right there. And they also sent 2 large needles and 2 little, I'm plastic. It says handmade. So that is what you will win. The answer to the question you have to put in the comments below. Were you ever a risky washer when it came to the rustics? Because these are not washer dryer safe. You're supposed to hand wash, lay flat. But I know that there's an occasion where it gets in there, or you may on purpose put it in the extra gentle. How'd that work for you? Does it do anything different other than when it goes too far in felts for, you know, the texture? So I made this little turtleneck. This is also slightly rustic. It's that Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. This is the superwash, and this is the non-superwash. I made a sweater earlier in 2019 that my mom ended up having, and they end up feeling about the same to me. But like I said, I'm really elevating to what kind of density I need to get things done a little bit faster. So that's why I've been swatching and doing that kind of thing. I also, you guys missed out. I also let's put her down to floor size. Do you see this? I steeked these arms. Kate Selene, is in England. She's a dyer. She does slub, which is bumpier yarn. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, you'll get the growly bear. And she graciously sent us more growly bear for this year, so yay. She does slub. She does a lot of speckle. And I was freaking out because she talks about steeking things that aren't rustic. Her merinos, her superwashes. Because she just likes to knit tubes. And I saw some of the things that she'd done that to, and I thought, well, okay. Because my challenge is, I don't want to look like I'm wearing a sack, but I do want something that's bigger. And I don't want to have to do a lot of shaping and stuff. I want to have a vanilla sweater. I want a vanilla sock. I want a vanilla hat. I want a vanilla sweater. I want a vanilla fingerless glove. I want a vanilla tight cowl. I mean, I want some vanilla stuff. Like, I might even write the vanilla book. And just easy, but things that I can do as it gets harder to read and manage patterns. So I reached out to some people, didn't get a lot of information back on steeking, watched 30, 50 videos, and finally just thought, whatever. I'm a crocheter, so there's a lot of different people will say different things. I tended to stick with the people who had the accents like Arnie and Carlos, because they know what they're doing, right? There was a woman who showed steeking without even reinforcing. She said, if you have something rustic, you don't even have to reinforce. Just steek it. But a number of people talk about having a minimum of 3 columns of stitches. Many do 5, many do 7. If you do 5 or 7, the steek tends to fold in more neatly than this one is. Because remember, when you steek, when I pick up the stitches, I'm going to pick up along here, so this little edge is going to be inside. See? You can't really see it. It doesn't look bulky. I mean, I think it's going to feel a little bit bulky. So I did the 3 column. I did the crochet up, not crochet to the side. And I didn't love it. I didn't love it at all. So next time, like if I steek the middle here, I'm going to do at least a 5 column, and I'm going to do the crochet through 2 legs of 2 different columns, where you're crocheting the leg on each side of the bar that you're stitching through. So I'm going to use one side of the stitch I'm going to cut and crochet in there, and the stitch right next to it, one of its legs. And then same thing on the other side. And it's supposed to fold better, be a little bit neater. And I'm going to use much thinner yarn. This one I went with a lady who said same weight yarn, yada yada. I think that's what's making it more bulky here. Because I want to get to the point where I feel confident steeking some superwash. Because I too, like Kate, want to just knitting around, knitting around, knitting around. And this came together really fast up until I did the cuts. I'm not thrilled with this neckline. And I'm not really thrilled with how this sits on me. I need to bash her boobs in so it's a little bit more like me. And I knitted this, I'm telling you, like 4 or 5 inches longer than my other ones, but it's not seeming to hit there. I don't understand that. But now that I did steam it, maybe. I haven't put it back on yet. I'm going to finish the arms, put it on, and then maybe steek. If I decide to steek this, I heard you, thank you. I will be able to record it because I figured out how to use the tripod so I can record. So how fun is that? That is so fun. And I really do love their yarns. I mean, what a value. So then I'm going to show you what I did with the sock tube. So folded hem. This pattern is on the internet. It's got slightly longer here. Look at this. This is so easy. If you get a sock tube, it's an afterthought thumb, 1x1 ribbing. There you go. I'm giving this to a little old lady in my neighborhood. Well, she's 80. She's from Britain. I ran up and basically tackled her on the street when I saw she was wearing yarn and said, "Do you want to be my friend?" And she's like, "Huh?" And I said, "Do you live alone?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't have a lot of friends." And she said, "Great." And we laughed and we hugged, and I've already visited. We exchanged yarn. We did stuff. So now, Kitty's calling. I'm finishing up a bunch of other fingerless gloves because I'm just ripping this one back because a bunch of other people want them. So that is what I am working on. Next month, I have a few more days. Next month, I'm going to finish this up. It's a crochet blanket that was in my whips. I am going to finish this up. I don't like the yarn. So I am doing this from the bottom up. It's a little sweater. And once I go past the shoulders here, the back is going to be garter stitch. I think I have enough yarn to do a panel at the top in the red and blue, variegated in garter stitch, the light blue to finish the bottom, and to do short sleeves. I'm just trying to figure out where my happy place is with the knitting. I do like the challenge of garments, but I don't like too much challenge. I love the fingerless gloves. I'm also going to, maybe before the end of this month, because I'm not casting on next month, finish it February. I'm doing it. Whatever I got going, I'm going to try to finish in February.
Hey!
Shh. He's not going to pick her up. Oh, is Grandma outside?
Is Grandma outside?
Take the pillow outside to Grandma. If she's here. The last couple of weeks have been a challenge. The episode I earlier recorded was 40 minutes of crazy. This was honestly far more regulated. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's here and sharing with me all of the Yarn Closet stuff and looking at what I'm doing and enjoying it. I really do want to know, what are your washing experiences with stuff that's non-superwash? Horror stories and tips and tricks. And please, check us out over on Patreon. It's fun. And if you do follow, become a patron, there's a little bit more you're going to be access to. I would say about 90% of the content is open to everybody. But there are some things that I post just for the patrons that are a little bit more personal, maybe, to get to know me, my mom. And I think there are going to be definite things that are going to be open just to the patrons. Some knit nights, some virtual knit nights. I mean, it is on my goal. I usually have more time to do things March or April through the end of the year. These first couple months are usually kind of tough for a variety of reasons. But thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in our little corner. I love that you're here and supporting us. And next time I'll just sit in front of, can you see this? Okay. Hold on. There it is. See this? See this? Okay, here's a big cute quiz question. Okay, I'm podcasting now. Who am I? Okay, somebody's going to know the answer. Look with your heart first.